Notice the effect of the pandemic on the restaurant industry. Help wanted signs, limited hours of operation, and closures point to a need for workers. Pat Bean has this report for our City Limits project.
The pandemic has taken its toll on Bob Costello, who owns 3 Soma Coffeehouses, the Laughing Planet restaurant, and the Village Deli. Due to the current labor shortage and damage from the summer flood, he temporarily closed the Village Deli, a Bloomington staple on Kirkwood.
At the end of July, I decided I was going to take a rest because trying to operate the Village Deli and having about 25% of the staff required to run it got to a point where we were physically and mentally exhausted.
Costello reopened the Village Deli earlier this month, but in a limited fashion. It offers carry-out only on Fridays and has limited dining on Saturdays and Sundays. And while all 3 Somas remain open, the Laughing Planet became a casualty.
What I decided is between having 5 restaurants that I could not spread myself that thin with the labor shortages that we had. I just couldn't, I couldn't sustain it.
The labor shortage became a national issue during the pandemic, when restaurants and bars were forced to close due to various state mandates. The restaurant industry in Indiana lost 215,000 employees overnight. Getting them back now that restaurants are back open remains an issue. According to a survey from the National Restaurant Association, 72% of owners said recruitment and retention of workforce was their top challenge. Sekou Sibi is the president and CEO of Restaurant Opportunities Center United, a nonprofit based in New York. He says one of the issues is front-of-the-house restaurant workers had to police customers who refused to comply with mask mandates.
And that's been very difficult for a lot of workers who wanted to go to work, but they were exposing the family while going to work because there are, customers who do not want to, think about their own safety, but the safety of the workers.
The bigger issue, Sibi says, is low wages and lack of benefits such as insurance and paid sick days. But increasing wages is something many restaurants, both dine-in and fast food, are doing to try to entice workers.
We've increased our wages. We pay servers $5.25 an hour plus tips. If they've worked for us for a year, it's $7.25 minimum wage plus tips. We pay our support $9 an hour plus tips. Our kitchen is getting paid anywhere between $13 and $18 plus tips as well.
But Sibi says that only hurts small, independent restaurants.
The government can get involved and create a policy, which means, increasing wages and working conditions, creating a policy to say minimum wage will be $16, $15, etc. It will level the playing field. Because what happened is larger corporations have the means to increase those wages, and a smaller restaurant is struggling.
Restaurants are not only facing a shortage of labor, the supply chain has been disrupted for more than a year and a half due to the pandemic. And that can have an effect on the menu.
They are unable to tell you that they're out of a product till they're at your door delivering it, and they'll say, oh, by the way, we don't have this, we don't have this, we don't have this, and we don't know when we're going to get it.
That just adds to problems restaurants are facing, and why those in the industry are asking customers to show a little bit of civility and patience.
I think it's important for people to know that the community needs people to work in order to continue to have the diversity of choice when it comes to dining out.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm Pat Bean.